Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby.
Okay, I'm recording. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Flashlight! You know, we never did that poop podcast.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I was going to prepare and everything. I was planning on Christmas, but then I just didn't do it. And then I was thinking about Friday night, then this happened.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
alright.
one thing.
What do you want
sure.
us to talk about?
Well, let's start off
start
with. So one thing's for sure. 2021, not starting off on a good foot.
Yeah. I was a little off on my city gets nuked right away.
It's like, damn. It's so funny though that you predicted with Pence, like, just jokingly, like, not doing the correct counts and shit, and now it's like, no, wait, instead Trump supporters actually siege it and stop the actual count. They're still going.
You know they're going
I have
right now,
it
yeah.
live fed right now.
Oh, yeah, I was watching below. I always hate that they interrupt, though. Actually, it doesn't even matter.
What do you mean?
Like, even the interruptions and the actual senators, like, we know their vote. Like, do you think a single senator is listening to what's said there and changing their minds?
No.
No.
Some of them
And
have said they were going to object to the electoral count, but now aren't going to.
yeah. The point is, we know, like, the results for the most part already.
I
So
mean,
there's
for
no
the
point.
most part.
There's no Mr. Smith goes to Washington here. No, and that doesn't ever really happen. No one ever, like, delivers a speech and some senator's like, oh, well, he's right about them American values.
Oh, wow, you said such a good speech.
Yeah, we just do what we know we're going to do anyways.
These speeches are for
pure partisan.
the people to believe that they have reasons behind everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, I like how I have this tweet up that I wanted to start off with, too. It's
Okay.
You ready? It says, I'm old enough to remember when the...
Can you share your screen?
Sure. I was just going to read it. Hold on.
I guess since we're an audio podcast.
Yeah, so it has, I'm old enough to remember when the big story was Trump being taped committing a felony. That was 2 days ago.
I don't think did he commit a felony?
I think it was very iffy.
Yeah, that's what these always come down to, like, I think I mentioned this the last time yesterday, it's always you have to interpret it.
Yeah.
And you can interpret it which way. It's like leaving the money on the dresser for the whore.
I feel like it was very
a lot of us we can say,
insinuating.
Yeah.
If you were a judge...
Yeah, he was saying, find me
call,
10,000 votes. But if he truly believes that they are all fraudulent, and he thinks that 300,000, and he's saying, you don't have to overturn all 300,000, just overturn 10,000 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Just
That's
find enough to
the
make
defense,
me win.
right? That's where it's like, okay, maybe if that's what he meant, it was a felony. But if that's not what he meant, it's not a felony. And who the hell knows? Like, you don't know what the guy meant.
I feel like we know.
I feel like I would say, like, the guy putting the money on the dresser, I feel like probably...
He's making sure if somebody was
paying for
listening,
the sex.
They know.
But I can't say 100% that is absolutely paying for sex. Maybe the lady stole money from him.
It's like me looking at a prostitute and putting my finger in a hole position and my finger in a dick position and putting them through each other and winking.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say let's have sex and then me doing like money sign. I didn't say let's have sex and flash the money in front of you. But I pretty much did. But the courts can't see I did.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like most people understand what he was saying. But will the courts be able to say that? I don't know.
Yeah. See, but I think it's the same thing for Biden or Hunter, not Joe. I don't know. I don't think they have any hard on him.
Yeah.
But that dude totally was taking money from a Russian corporation or a Ukrainian gas company. And there was a wink, wink, nod, nod. Mm-hmm. Like, don't ask why I'm here, but I'm here to give you the support of the U.S. government.
Yeah, exactly.
To make the illusion that you have the support. And I get money for that. Like, the guy doesn't know anything about gas extraction.
Right?
And it's all the speeches too, and both sides do this a crazy amount. Is like they're there to give the speech, and then they're like, "Here's $3 million for that speech." What a wonderful speech!
Yeah, that was such a good.
By the way, about the bill that I want you to vote on.
Yeah, can we limit the price of
we all know what
speeches
that's
from
really
political
about.
party members?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Like, if you're... I'm almost for, like, salary caps on, like, Senate and Congress at some point. Like...
This is, like, Plato's The Republic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In his perfect design of a system...
Mm-hmm.
Like, the upper class were all communists, basically. They don't get to touch money.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So they're, like, nothing.
They should
right?
basically be so comfortable that they don't, like... You know what I mean? They should be comfortable living.
Yeah.
But
I
not
used to
make
be so
money.
libertarian and, like, communist. But, sometimes I think I can understand that. If you get to have all this power... you actually should be prevented from having,
Additional power through money.
Yeah. You can't start selling things out to get, like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, but...
However, we can reduce the ability for money to influence your decisions.
Yeah.
Which, clearly, that's how almost all the decisions are made. So, did you see... Because stuff is still coming out with all this.
Yeah, a
right?
lady died. That was one thing.
Yeah, I saw the video of that. Well, there was a barricaded door she was trying to get through, and she got shot in the neck.
I didn't see that. She was trying to get through it. Oh, was it like where the Congress people, they were protecting behind it? Is that why?
Yes, correct. She got shot in the neck. She was trying to get into a chamber of Congress. I feel like well-deserved.
Well, probably. But then don't they have the same, like, as all the Black Lives Matters things happening? Like, she didn't have a gun, did she?
I don't know. They found IEDs in the building.
Yeah, I know, but did she have a gun?
If she had a gun, I'd have no idea.
I'm betting.
But
we
let's
would
be
know
fair.
She had a gun by now. Yeah,
They might not have needed to shoot her, but they had no idea if they had guns or not because they're not supposed to be in the building. And
I know, but
all people who enter the Capitol are supposed to be checked for weapons. They went
I'm
into
betting
a
you can
building
mostly
where you're
just
supposed
guess
to be checked for weapons.
crazy white lady didn't have a gun because this is just not something they do.
She was
Sorry to stereotype, but
she was a vet.
I know, but like, when's the last shooting perpetrated by a lady? There was one in, I think, San Bernardino, but it was like a husband-wife pair, like 5 years ago. But mostly they just.
But you
don't.
do see the difference between protesters on the street. Just
not
marching.
protesters. No, I'm not talking protesters.
Rioters.
I'm talking, not rioters. No, I'm talking guys resisting arrest.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I still think there's a big difference. I don't think these people are armed with tasers.
They neither had a gun.
One, I don't think they're armed with tasers.
And plus, these the guys, military guys, they should be trained. Can't they beat the shit out of them?
I don't know if these are military trained people or not. They're Capitol.
Secret Service.
It wasn't Secret Service necessarily. It could have been.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know who they are.
Capitol Police.
They don't look like pansies. Because I've seen those photos of the dudes fighting. They're like geared up.
Yeah, so there's Capitol Police and there's Secret Service. I don't know if
I don't know,
Secret
Zach.
Service.
Here's what I'm saying. I think we need a movement. Okay? Crazy white ladies matter. Was she white?
Yeah, she was white.
I think so. Crazy white ladies matter.
Karens matter.
Karens matter. Yeah, let's start it.
Karen's lives matter. Oh God.
Oh, I think we could.
So, are you ready for? I don't know if you know this news yet, because I just saw it an hour ago. So the First Lady's Chief of Staff and White House Social Secretary resign after the protest.
Her chief of
that's
staff
Melania Trump.
And who cares? Who even knows what they
Trump's chief of staff.
They have like 14 days left on the job.
Yeah, but who knows what... They're calling for Amendment 25 to remove Trump from office.
Yeah, I think that might actually happen, but I don't know for sure. I think they would have the votes.
Yeah, I think they would at this point. Like, literally, Pence is pretty much not a Trump person at this point, right? Like, he's trying to separate himself from him.
Here's where you could see the Civil War starting.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking about this.
Because there's a period of time, like, when Trump knows the vote is about to going on, and they actually have the vote, in that period of time, he still technically is the commander-in-chief of the United States Army and can order them to do anything. Technically. Now, I don't know if they will do anything.
But that's why they can't invoke the 25th Amendment to get them the hell out, right?
You know, I gotta say I was wrong about something. When you were saying you weren't going to vote for him because of, what's that? Dan Carlin.
Yeah, Dan Carlin said he is inciting civil war.
I said, I don't know, I think he'll just step aside eventually once they, like, it's clear that he has no outs and he's not going to win. I really thought he was just going to say, okay.
That turned out not
it would give a concession speech. He still has 14 days. But...
See, that's the other scary thing. What about the inauguration now? Like, if a protest is happening for the inauguration, which I guarantee there will be, they're going to be some, like, National Guard and shit in place from the beginning now, right?
It's getting pretty crazy, but
you can still go to Washington, D.C. in a protest with an AR-15 legally. I'm just saying you can, right?
Yeah, I know. It's true. Technically. I don't know if... Somebody's probably going to stop you, but theoretically... I don't know. D.C. probably has anti-gun laws.
Do they?
I'm going to bet.
I don't know.
I'm going to bet they do.
D.C.
Like California has... Like, they probably... I don't know. Let's look up D.C. gun laws.
That's what I'm doing right now. Because I'm wondering if you can. In general, you must be licensed to carry a firearm in D.C. Concealed while open carry is prohibited. So you can't open carry, but you can conceal if you have a license.
No, wait. Are you sure? In the district, concealed while open carry is Yeah. No. They're saying it's basically prohibited. You have to have a license to have it concealed.
Yes.
Open is completely prohibited.
Exactly. So you can have concealed carry, though.
Only with a license.
Yeah.
Which basically means cops. Cops have licenses in Secret Service and security guards. Yes.
You can have a license to conceal carry in Ohio, right?
I know, but they will have different requirements.
You have to have
Ohio,
a license. Period.
I know it's very lenient. In D.C., I bet it's really hard to get a concealed license. I bet they basically mean you have to be in law enforcement.
Let me see.
That's kind of the thing that I think they're doing.
Firearm laws in the district ranks amongst the most restrictive. So yeah, you're probably right.
obviously, because that's where they'd want them to be very restricted.
Yeah. That's very true. It's insane.
Mm.
Do you think though? Well, one, did you know the Georgia Capitol was also sieged?
Oh no, I did not know that.
There was multiple protests in other capitals. Some of them were allowed. Like they had like a, what do you call it, where you get like permission basically to protest somewhere.
Yeah.
Like some of them actually were allowed to protest inside the Capitol. It's not like they took over, but there were protests in the Capitol. But it wasn't just the Capitol building. It was other states' Capitol buildings this happened in.
You know what the real problem is?
What?
It's a fucking Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
What like...
And Wednesday's when the big protests happen.
No. I mean, where the fuck... They don't have jobs? Why does no one in, like, all of us have a job?
Well, that's
probably, I think, really the root cause.
Well, this has been scheduled for, like, 3 weeks. Like, you can take a day off of work.
No, I think most of them are also planning, like you don't storm the Capitol if you have a job, because if you go to jail, you're not going to have a job.
Or there's people that don't care.
Yeah, there are people that don't care.
Some people might have gone there not thinking to storm the Capitol, and then it happened, you know? You gotta think, not everybody went with that mindset.
I'm betting most of them just didn't have shit to do. I really think that's part of the problem. Is, like, the unemployment rate.
Yeah, the unemployment
rate. And, like, not just the actual unemployment rate, but the, you know, they have this different sections. The amount of basically people working... Mm-hmm. Has just plummeted, not just in the pandemic, but over the last, like, 20 years.
Yeah, and the more this is only going to happen more, right?
Yeah.
And so the more it happens, the more we have this is able to how is the Capitol not protected enough from protesters? Mm-hmm. If I thought there was one building you couldn't just storm into, it would be the Capitol building.
I don't think it's the matter of not being protected. It's just there's no political will to, like, really protect it. Like, I guarantee if they were going to bring out machine guns, no one's going to storm that thing.
Yeah.
If they could easily put up snipers on the roofs and just start popping people off.
But that's what I'm saying.
But that would only incite the crowd more, I think, and make the mob even angrier. I think that one lady is probably... This is why they probably shouldn't have shot her. It's going to make them even angrier. It's going to be a
bigger deal, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
It's only one, though. So
Did you see photos or watch when Black Lives Matter had a protest at the Capitol building?
Yeah.
Did you see the picture, the difference of the amount of guarding they had of the Capitol building when BLM was there as opposed to the Trump supporters?
It's been a while since they did the...
Let me refresh your memory to show you how big of a difference it is.
Okay.
And show you how this is one of the problems.
Are you going to share screen?
Yeah, I'm just going to copy the image into here. Let me just show you. It was basically National Guard people there. Like, layers of them. This is the image when BLM was there.
I don't see what you're showing.
I'm putting it in Discord right now.
Oh, okay, I did see this.
Now look how different that is to what it looked like today. There's 4 layers.
Okay, where is it today?
Of National Guard.
Yeah, where is it today? Where's the picture today?
Shoot, I only have video of it. Somebody probably posted
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought, like, today it didn't look that different. There were...
No.
When I saw them breaching... I don't get this area. When they were breaching, there were layers of people trying to prevent them. There were just a fuckload of people.
Yeah. There was definitely people there.
Like, where's the video? Yeah, so, I mean, this is a perspective, though. Like, they are all separated out and on like a... steps.
Yes, and there's 4 layers of them. There's one layer.
Know.
Yeah, there's 1,
I
then the
see-
2, then 3, then 4.
Okay, is this the...
This is the video of them storming. There's one small layer of police.
Doesn't play for me.
They're not National Guard. They're Capitol Police.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Now, can you see the difference?
No, see, the thing is, I see a different area where they were fighting. I didn't see this one. But, I'm not gonna find it. Anyways, the point is, here's where I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I think you're falling for fake media again.
How's this fake
media? And I
media?
think both sides are faking it. It's falling for it too. Because they always look at, like, the Black Lives Matter protests and say something about, like, the, they just let them go and riot and do all this shit, right? And then here they're trying to prevent us from getting in. They shot a fucking lady. So you can see they say the same exact thing. Now here's where I think you're getting a misperception. There are some places that probably aren't as well protected. There are some places I even think they fake out like a small little brigade of people, right, to have a little weak point, and then they let the crazies penetrate, okay? And that's part of the strategy to let them in, and then they section that off, and then they can arrest those crazies.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I don't doubt that happens, but that's
I
clearly
think
not
that's
what happened
the
here.
one that... Yeah, it is. I think that's the one you're seeing. I saw when there was like a huge... There was definitely one. It wasn't... Like I said, they weren't like separated out like this. Because they were literally like fighting with the crowd. Like pushing them back. But it was a fuckload of these people dressed kind of like this. I think they were in black though.
At the
but
BLM
they were like
protest.
fighting. No.
Here.
I mean the protest today. That's what I'm saying. I saw media... It wasn't where they were standing; they were actually fighting. But it looked like a shitload of them.
It
was like
you got to talk about what time we're talking
behind
about.
It's like
because I watched the whole thing play out, and they eventually called in the National Guard, and so it probably
in Black Lives Matter or here
at here today.
Okay, no. I didn't see the National Guard. This was earlier today when people were posting things on Twitter when they actually breached. Like, when they were trying to breach, there was a lot of these people.
This is literally the breach right here.
I don't know what... Again, I see the media could not be played. So I don't know what that is.
Oh. This is literally when they got past the cops and went into
I saw one video when there was a lot of people. A lot of these cops preventing people from going in.
Correct. There was a lot
they
of
might have
police.
had a weak point, and that's what you're seeing. But I'm telling you, there was definitely one part where there was heavily fucking guarded, and like no one was getting through. Like I saw a guy going like sideways through it, and he was just getting pushed back because there was too many of these guard dudes.
Yeah. Either way, it's fucking crazy.
So I think there are a lot of perspectives, and you can just cherry pick whichever part supports your side. Which is what I think everyone does. They go, but look at this Black Lives Matters in Portland where they didn't touch anything. Like, they let them do anything. Yeah, it's fucking Portland.
Yeah,
the mayor was like, just fucking go with it.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's one thing.
It's not like...
You can't compare those because the BLM protests were in cities against buildings and stuff, and this is against literally the Capitol building of the United States while Senate is in session.
Oh, no. Well... I don't know. Maybe.
One's treason and one is rioting.
Well, some people...
Do you not agree with that? If you try and stop a Senate hearing, is that not treason?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It depends on who wins, honestly.
I mean, you're not wrong there. Well...
I mean, it's treason for the Founding Fathers, right? If they lost.
That's true.
If you get away with it and they don't do anything, it's not treason.
Well, let's put it this way: the Trump supporters definitely lost today.
Did they? I don't know. I don't think they accomplished anything.
Well, that's what I mean by they lost. I don't think it's over. We can agree.
Yeah,
on
that's
that.
the thing. Is like I don't.
This is
like,
a battle.
One lady died. I don't know if that matters. It's like I don't know. That's a lot of people. it showed some of them are crazy enough to do crazy shit.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking insane. Like, they were literally in the Senate chamber,
Going
like,
back to
taking
senators,
pictures.
like, still, I do think people, especially the small businesses, like, they shouldn't just take their stuff because a black guy got shot. They had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, that's
Like,
why I
at
think...
least this, at least, the senators, they actually think they are doing something they believe is evil. Like, the Black Lives Matters is just like free shit to steal.
Yeah, but I feel like
come on.
once
Don't
again,
screw
those are...
that. They're innocent.
Yeah, but I think those are people taking advantage of riots, right? People
Yeah,
riot,
yeah,
and then there's
so
people
I'm
who take
saying-
advantage of the riot. These people clearly, this was their goal, right?
Yeah, but I can kind of sympathize with them a little.
In what
Right.
way?
In what way?
I get what you're saying is, if they really believe that the votes are fraudulent and everything, this would be the response, right?
Yeah, well, and it's not just that. It's just that I think in their mind, it's all over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the House is lost, the Senate lost, and then now the presidency.
Yes.
And
thank God.
like,
the
if you
Senate
think
lost
of-
too.
Oh, what? No, I wanted at least one. The taxes are gonna go crazy. But anyways,
Yeah, but I'm gonna
If
get my
you-
$2,000 out of your taxes.
dick. Anyway, it's true though. It's sadly true. what
So
what
see,
I really care about.
So see, you care Republican because you're gonna be the one that taxed to give me free money.
I know. Anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So
Now
the
I get to
last
spend
time this
Biden
happened-
bucks.
The last time this happened, okay?
Uh-huh.
Think about 2008.
Mm-hmm.
George W. Bush is president.
Mm-hmm.
I think gay marriage was still completely legal. I'm pretty sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
Marijuana wasn't illegal in any state.
Yeah.
A lot
has changed in 12 years, huh?
I just feel like there was a lot of pro-Christian shit. Like, it very different than today, right?
Yeah.
And I think, like 8 years of Obama, and for the most part, he had the Senate, the House, and the presidency. And like 8 years later, we're now like, well, guys can be girls if they want to, and we have to respect their pronoun choice.
Yeah.
And then they're thinking like, okay.
Oh.
like, and then that's like, they will never win again. And
Yeah.
It's shocking that Trump won to begin with.
Yep. Well,
So it
he
seems
was
like they're
kind
just
of
done.
that was what he represented, was the anti-political correct movement, right?
Yeah. So if it seems like you have no chance of ever getting back into power again, I mean,
Which
what do
it's
you
looking
do?
pretty bad for this might be the start of a split of the Republican Party into a new party, right?
But then that would just ensure even more that they have no power.
Yeah, but that's not how, if you have a political movement, it's not like people care about that if they don't like the other side.
Yeah, but
It eventually evolves into that new party, right?
I'm not sure.
Eventually, Republicans, if the other party grows big enough, will start siding with that party, right?
Republicans grow big enough.
The other party grows big enough. So say the Republican Party splits into Republican Party and the Trump supporter party, right?
Yeah.
If the Trump supporter party is big enough, the Republicans are going to have to eventually vote for the Trump supporter party or
No.
the
The point
Democrats.
is they're never going to outnumber the Democrats. Like, this is like the death point. Like, it's over, right?
Most likely for the Republicans, yeah, they're fucked.
I'm not talking Republicans.
Then for what?
Like, the parties, like, there are plenty of Republicans like Mitt Romney that are very middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But
Then what are you saying this is the
people-
death of?
the people that support Trump don't believe Trump or anyone like Trump will ever be in office again.
No. Not any fundamental extremist Republican, no.
But okay,
or maybe he will be if this many people support
Trump. Let's go back
Trump.
30 years, Zach, or 40 years, whatever it is.
Okay, let's go into our time machine. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
All right, we're 40 years ago.
Like the things that Trump says and does, like being like, yeah, I don't know about the blacks. That's perfectly normal for most of the presidents.
Yeah, in the 80s?
Yeah.
It's probably not too outrageous, no.
No, yeah, like, I think that's, like, it's, like, the dying of their belief system, their generation, all of it.
Oh, so I heard somebody talk about
know?
this. I forget who it was talking about this. It feels like one of the things that's happening is the baby boomer generation grew up with this big, hard, like you said, Christian Republican propaganda machine. And they're getting to the point where they realize they've been lied to for these
I'm not sure they've been
20, 40 years.
I think they think it's all over. Like, they believe it all. Mm-hmm. And it's all gonna, like, there's no... Like, they've internalized it. Like, it's all true. And Trump is somehow... I never understand this part. That Trump is somehow, like...
The ultimate Christian Republican guy. Which makes no fucking sense.
But whatever. But it's all done. Like, everyone that'll be a president from now on will be a fake Christian. Like, no one ever really believed Obama was all that into Christ. I actually believe that Obama and Trump have about the same amount of I like Christ altogether. But
no, I totally agree with you. You know what, though? But Obama didn't push protesters away to take a picture with a Bible in front of a church, type faking it. But he's definitely faked it.
Yeah. Yeah, so he does fake it. He fakes it a little harder. So he pays a little more lip service to the religious.
Absolutely.
And,
no, I totally agree with that. I see what you're saying. It's literally, they feel like it's the death of their ideology.
Yeah. It'll never be back in power again. Done.
Good.
See anything good out of it?
Weed will be legal nationally, hopefully.
What's that?
Weed will be legal nationally. I think that's something that will happen.
Legal nationally?
Yeah.
You mean marijuana?
Yeah.
Oh.
They tried to put that into...
weed.
Congress
I thought
passed
you said
that.
weed, like W-E. Weed. Yeah, that'll take weed.
Yeah.
See, I'm already okay on that.
Mitch McConnell killed the bill when they tried to pass it through Congress. Mitch McConnell said, no. No bills go through me.
I was watching him. He's actually saying something about not being, letting the, supporting the electoral votes, right?
Yeah.
I just can't help but watch him inject, and watch him and not think, and I'm a turtle.
Yeah,
just imagining him saying that at the end of every sentence.
I'm a turtle.
He talks so slowly, and he just has that neck sticking out.
He has a very old... He looks like somebody who's been in politics for years and for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
He looks like exactly what he is.
Mm.
He looks typecasted.
He looks like a turtle.
So what's funny is I started this day off because I wanted to watch the Pence announcing of the electoral colleges because we were talking about it. So I started off watching Trump's entire speech that led to all this.
Oh, I went back and watched it. It is
very insightful for what happened, right?
Yeah, he did not, this is where, I'll now admit I was wrong. He's not stepping back.
No,
because that's not like a, okay, just let him go. That's like a fucking do what you gotta do speech.
Yep. And did you see the 1-minute clip he released after the Capitol thing happened?
Well, he did call for peace at the very least.
Yes, but during that he was still like, I know you're upset about the steal. This is election fraud, but we got to be peaceful. Bro, it's already happened. You can't say be peaceful after you incited for an hour for this to happen.
He didn't, but this goes back to the horror debate. He didn't explicitly incite. He didn't say go run through the building and burn shit up or anything. He said, You have to be strong.
Yeah.
Now, I can interpret you have to be strong, and if you question our strength, we'll always prevail, as fucking go and burn it. Or you can just say it's a political, like, strong talk.
But Nick, we're talking.
Like,
you're talking
I don't
court
know.
wise. I'm talking logical wise of how you interpret.
Like,
those
what do I
words.
actually think?
Yeah.
Well,
I think he meant stand up for everything. Make sure you protest. Make sure you riot. Now, I don't think he meant necessarily siege the Capitol building and stop the votes from happening. But that's what happened.
See, how I interpret it is that he's in a hard spot politically.
Yeah.
Because this is where people always think he's the asshole. He's the tail that wags the dog, right? Mm-hmm. All his supporters, if he says I concede, will call him a weakling, a traitor. They will just abandon him. He will lose all his support.
Yes, absolutely.
So he can't do that. But he can't explicitly say, go raid the fucking Capitol. So, I think he's just an expression of them.
Yes.
And, he does not want to get...
But he also doesn't have to do a speech while they're protesting
I think he does.
Increase the anger. He doesn't have to. He chose...
I think
all these things are choices he's making politically, right?
Politically, as in, if he wants to
he's out of power.
Political
he's done.
Power. Well, he has... I think he's going to... Well, I was thinking he was going to run in 2024.
Not now.
It's pretty questionable now. But see, that's the thing. If he was planning on running in 2024, I think he had to give a speech similar to what he did. Where he didn't explicitly say, burn the thing down, but he has to talk tough because that's what his supporters want.
Yep. His
supporters want him to show up and talk tough because that's the person they believe in. Because they feel they're a dying breed and they need somebody that's not going to go down without a fight. And he delivers. That's what he is.
So what happens now? I feel like this weekend is going to be protests like we saw in Black Lives Matter, but with Trump protesters all over the country. And I say the weekend because I feel like that's when the people who do have jobs can go out and do this.
That's true. No, I still think people that have jobs just generally don't do really dumb shit. That's how they get jobs.
But I'm just saying the protests will be larger, right? And that tends to lead to the people who are there to create mischief will create the mischief.
All the crazies are already there.
Yeah, I think there'll still be probably protests tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah.
I'm just saying Friday and Saturday are when they're going to be worse. That's how it was with Black Lives Matter. Most of the bad protests or bigger protests happened on the weekend because people with jobs are now also protesting. It's not that they went out there to create riots or anything. It's that since they were so big, more stuff happened. The bigger the crowd, the more likely something is to happen.
Yeah. That's where I said, the crowd here was crazy. Mm-hmm. It's they could have all these people you see on the steps. It doesn't matter if you have 100,000 people that are pushing through. They're going to get through.
It's true. It is a weird time.
Yeah.
I did not think this was going to happen so soon. That was
no, something had to happen on...
the 6th. Yeah, I guess the 6th was the day.
Something had to go. And so once Penn said, I'm not going to, just fuck around with it.
Yeah.
Then they were like, okay, then we have to do something.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think there was a plan. Obviously, nothing really got accomplished.
Did you see they were chanting a hang Mike Pence when they're in the Capitol building?
No, really?
Yeah, they were chanting
That's
that.
crazy. So, see, that's
is
where I'm saying, Trump had to deliver that speech.
Yeah, that's where I'm saying.
Because if he says, I concede, they'll be like, hang fucking Trump. He's done.
Yeah.
And another thing, that's the only thing that's really keeping him, out of prison or whatever. If they come after him after the after he's out of office.
Well, I think he's
Like-
getting removed from office and possibly some kind of charges, whether or not they stick or not.
No, see, I think
something's
that
happening.
he has stood by his supporters by saying shit like he just said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll charge him for fear of, like, people will break into the prison, like, 100,000 people and break him out. And that's how you get, like, huge, like, that's civil war starting.
Yeah, but once again, just because that could be the consequences, I don't think they're not going to do it. I think they're still going to do it because they think that's what the left wants.
That's true, because I don't think they have as bad of a dynamic as the Trump train masses with Trump as the left Antifa does with the left.
Yeah. Well, one thing's
Because
for
I think
sure.
most of the left politicians are still pro-corporatist. They're more like Mike Pence, most of them.
Yeah.
They play lip service to the Antifa people, but they don't really give a shit.
So I think no matter what, though, he's going to get one of the two. I feel like he's going to get impeached or removed from office before
14 days.
in 14 days. I think they're going to try and expedite some shit. They already.
I think they might.
They already
But I
Congress
don't know.
already. There's already a letter
might start
from
wondering what
Congress
he'll
to do the 25th Amendment on him.
But the question is who signed it?
A lot
How many
of people
Republicans?
actually.
Yeah.
I don't know about Republicans. Let me see. It has the list right here.
Yeah, that's what matters. I mean, 90% of this is just like, and all the Democrats say, and all the Republicans say the opposite.
Yeah, but the
it
Democrats
doesn't
have
matter.
control, right? And enough
I don't know,
Republicans
it
might
doesn't
be
have the
scared at
R
this
or the
point
D.
to not go with it.
You got to give me ones that I know would still like.
I
there's
just
plenty.
I put in the
objecting for
chat
them. I don't think it's
the
gonna do
people
anything.
who signed the document. I don't. That
It's not
doesn't
very
say
many.
R or
It's like,
D,
what, like
but it's just the members.
10, 15?
What's that?
Or you have to open it.
Yeah.
There's not many people in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 15 people.
Yeah, but this was done in hours, right? Who knows
Yeah,
what
that's not a
tomorrow
lot.
will bring?
I don't know. That's still not enough. You got to have like 300.
Yeah, tomorrow. Who knows what tomorrow can bring after this, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if the crowd comes back out or what they do or.
Yeah, I
No
don't
idea.
know. I really don't know.
I don't
man.
know. Do you think there is any path Trump stays in office for another 4 years?
Trump stays in office for another 4 years? I do not see that happening now. I think there was slim chance before this happened.
Let's see.
Does Predicted
So if they
even
prevent
have
the
a bet
vote-
for him?
And no. I think they might have closed it. They probably. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they closed it. Pelosi they do have the Pelosi becomes president.
Yeah,
So
I saw
there's-
that.
If Pelosi becomes president, then it's a disputed election. Then it does get thrown to the
Wait, why would Pelosi become president?
the amendment that's the succession, right? So January 20th.
If we're trying to if somehow Biden and Kamala Harris are removed because it's a contested election or whatever.
They won't get removed. Technically, for a new president to be inaugurated, the electoral colleges have to be entered into record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what Mike Pence was doing today.
Yeah, which is what's just happening right now. I'm watching the live feed.
So if we go all the way to January 20th and that doesn't happen, that day, Trump is no longer president. Technically, Biden isn't president yet because the Electoral College has not voted for him. Right? Their votes have not been counted. And
Yeah,
certified.
but Pence is doing the counting right now, so I don't know how that's going to happen.
So that's probably not. Well, this is where, like, if they storm again, or if they delay long enough, because if they, this is where they were questioning it when I was watching. If they object to everyone they object to is a 2-hour vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 2-hour debate, and then they object to the next state, a 2-hour debate. Object to the next state, 2-hour debate.
Is that how it works? Is that why this is still going on?
Yes.
Are
Yeah,
they going to
so
be
every
here
time-
like this is gonna be like.
Don't you look at why this is all happening? See, I dive into like what the fuck is going on.
I actually wanted to text you about like a one of your journals with like a lawyer or something to describe what's happening with this.
I forget where I read this.
It's getting crazy.
But here's what happens basically.
Mm-hmm.
So Pence basically reads out the votes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happens. It requires a senator and one representative. They object, okay, to the vote for that state. There's a 2-hour debate.
Why does it have to? Is that just the time that's allotted, and they have to do 2 hours?
Yeah, they have to. There's a 2-hour debate over it, and then both houses vote. So the House of Representatives votes and the Senate votes, and they need both houses to override whatever Pence just entered. Right? So he just said all the electors for Arizona go to Biden. 2 Republicans object. And then
so if they could drag this out for a long time.
Well, they could, but they're probably only going to object to the ones they actually object to. Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania.
But
that's 6 hours, missing a few states. There's like 5, right? 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But theoretically, if they wanted to be dicks, the Republicans, they could object to every state, and it would be 100 hours.
Yeah, that's what
and then it would get to the 20th, and I wonder if they're. I don't know this. Is it Arizona because it was done alphabetically? Are we just through Arizona now?
Oh God, dude, you might be right. That might be what it is.
I actually don't know the answer to that.
Arkansas, Arizona, you might be right,
yeah.
dude. I mean, how else would they do it? Why not alphabetically?
Yeah. That'd be my guess. This is the things. These are the things I want the news to tell me. This is what pisses me off. When I was watching CBS, I think was the YouTube live stream, they cut them off, and then they don't inform you. They just tell you it was not a contested election. Fuck the Republicans. I get that. Fine, whatever. You have your opinion. What are the facts of the matter? Like, what are the things they could do? What are they actually trying to do? How does it work? Like, I can't get that from them. I wanted to know the process that they're doing. Like, Pence reads them off, and then they're going to do the votes, and then they would need both to object, and then, you know, they could technically write it out, and Pelosi would be president.
Man. It's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
It must be alphabetical. It doesn't tell me, but I would think that would be how they would do it, right? There's no other logical way to do it, except maybe order they became states.
The order they received it, the order they received the votes, because California, for whatever reason, it takes them forever to count and certify. Order of certification. There could be lots of different ways they do it. I don't know. That's the thing I want the media to tell me. Why are we on Arizona? Is it just random? Do they just pull them out of a pile? Does Pence just pull the votes out of his ass?
Here's
I've been storing these up here, and
I'm reading right now to see how they order it.
What else was I gonna
But how does that do they just recess at some point?
But anyways,
because it's almost
I
12
think they
a.m.
would have to vote on. They could vote on a recess. I think actually Pence can, as part of being the head of the Senate, he can dismiss for recess. There are all these rules about it.
Here's another question.
He can call them for session.
What is Trump doing all this time? We don't know because he's banned from Twitter, and that's where we get most of his communication.
Oh, did he get banned from Twitter?
Yeah, he's banned for the next 12 hours, possibly permanently.
Oh, I thought they were debating banning him permanently.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying possibly permanently, but he's definitely banned for the next 12 hours.
Huh, interesting. What was I doing then? Oh, yeah. Back to the original point. Suppose they do all the things, all the craziness, and Pelosi becomes president. Then it is without a doubt a disputed election, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then technically it goes to the House to vote, and then, like I said before, they vote on a state-by-state delegation.
Is that when we have a civil war? If that happens, I could see that.
No, because I don't even know if Trump's going to win that now.
Win what?
I think there would be enough Republicans in the House of Representatives that wouldn't vote for him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, if he had gotten it through the Supreme Court decertifying results,
Yeah.
if he had gotten it that way, a peaceful way, a sane way,
Yeah, this is
and then it went to the
really
House,
Yeah.
then I think he could have won.
This has swayed Republicans not to side with Trump ever again.
Yeah. If they does it this way, where it's like protesters storming every time they're in session, and I don't even think I don't think there are enough people that are gonna trigger the 2-hour debates on every state. And I don't know if they could drag it out to the 20th, because that's a long time. Like, if they only do the 5 states, that's 10 hours. So I don't think they can get there. But if they even tried, I think that would... enough Republicans in the House would probably just vote against Trump anyways.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
But then there's the other way he stays president.
How's that? Because
He says,
I don't see the way you're saying.
I'm in the military. I suspend habeas corpus. Shoot Pelosi. Shoot this person. Shoot these people. Technically, legally, on the 20th, he's no longer president, but at that point, I'm not so sure it matters.
Technically, as commander-in-chief, he can say that, right?
Technically. I'm not sure if generals will really do anything, but then the question becomes, how many people at the lowest levels support him?
Good question.
This is where people are questioning the people at Capitol Hill. Like, some of them might have been like, I support President Trump, and just let the protesters through.
Do you think there's any of assassination attempt by any Trump supporters, or through what you're saying? Like, do you want to predict that somebody is attempted to be killed or is killed on the Congress or Senate before the inauguration?
Oh, it's shocking how few murders there are.
Mm-hmm.
Of, like, given how crazy our everybody has become.
Yeah, our current political climate.
Here's why I'm reluctant to predict that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure somebody was going to shoot Obama
in
the beginning of 2008. I really did.
I thought the same with Trump for 4 years. I thought for a while something was going to happen, but I feel like you could just complain about him online.
Aren't as big of assassins as rightists for some reason. Like right-wing people are... A lot of them were in the military, and a lot of them probably know how to use a sniper rifle.
That's a very good point. Well,
and that's why I thought, like, a lot of them were like, I don't like Obama.
You did see at the Trump speech, he was behind a plate of glass, right?
Yeah. But, yeah, so I'm sure they're, like, if it were easy, super simple, he'd definitely get killed.
Yeah.
It's not super simple, so somebody's got to really be intelligent and want it. Yeah, and that's where I go back to, they don't have jobs, most of them. Like,
yeah.
So the people that, like, would be competent enough to do it aren't gonna.
I just want to be clear for CIA and NSA and
these are
Secret Service. These are predictions, and we don't plan to do any of this.
But
as our number one fan, CIA and FBI.
I really hope there's an analyst that is dedicated to listening to our podcast.
There's a guy assigned to the discourse of human events.
Like, that's our one solid fan.
We need to name him. Points. Can we name our one fan?
It's got to be like a really nerdy name, like an analyst at the CIA. What's a nerdy name?
What was the head nerd in Nerds?
Oh, that's a good question.
Are you looking that up?
I am. Lewis.
Yeah,
Lewis.
Lewis is a total old nerd name. I can see a Lewis.
Yeah. I think there's Lewis at the CIA listening in to the discourse.
All right, Lewis.
That's his assignment.
So to be clear, we think Trump supporters are going to do this, not us.
But you think... I don't think the... See, the thing is, I don't know if they hate Biden. Biden's not really that bad to them.
Who hate Biden?
Trump supporters.
Are you kidding me?
Like, he's like the most palpable on the Democratic Party. Like, if it were Nancy Pelosi, I would say that actually was, like, nominated for president.
You have not
Pelosi
seen
was
my
president-elect-
Facebook feed with Trump supporters and how much anti-Biden stuff they post.
But still, I mean, he's a white guy. Who cares? He's actually, like, maybe I'm just out of it.
I'm saying I see
think
just
he's
as much
not that liberal.
anti-Pelosi stuff. I think I see more anti-Biden stuff.
But that's just because he's the opponent, not because they actually hate him.
I think
He
you're wrong
doesn't
there.
say
They call him
anything that much
pedophile
that
and
they
stuff
would
all the
hate.
time.
Okay, pedophile I see, but that's not like... I don't know. He's not like the Cortez lady. Like, has he said things about transgender or... I don't even think he comments on it. And people think like he doesn't really even believe that shit. He's an 80-year-old white guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty middle of the road, honestly.
I'll give you that.
So, like, he's not a person to hate. They just hate him, I think, mostly because...
As the opposition.
Yeah, he's going to take it away from Trump.
Or as the kids these days would say, he is op.
Yeah, he's... Like, I think he's
op, no cap.
not very different than Bush. He's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I would give you that. I'm hoping he does some of the things he actually says. One, because...
What does he say?
I like free money. And a lot of his promises are free money.
Okay. But what else? Free money is, like, he'll barely do it.
I think he'll do one $2,000 check. That was my prediction.
Yeah, that's it. No.
And his student loan forgiveness was a big one.
He won't do that.
Yeah, I don't. That's the one I don't. That's the other one. I'm like, I don't know if he'll do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not who everyone they think he is. He's not behind it. I can tell you that.
No,
a lot of people on the left are.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
He ain't.
I don't actually think he's going to do the student loan forgiveness. It'd be great if he did for me, and for a lot of other people, but I don't think he's going to.
It'd be good for me. I'm missing out on that $2,000. I want that forgiven. That's why it's
$50,000. I think he said, right? On student loan
$50,000.
Yeah.
That's why I do think it's dumb if he does do it. Honestly.
Why?
Like, people that have college loan debt are richer. Like, I don't need mine forgiven. I'll take it. I'm gonna go complain. And you know, honestly, you're not doing fantastic, but you're a college educated person.
Yeah.
You're doing a million times better than most people that didn't even get into college.
I think the $2,000 to everybody's
money.
actually more needed for some people than $50,000.
I don't even think it should be to all people. I don't think you should get $2,000.
Me? No, I actually think it probably should be oriented to people who are more affected and unemployed. Honestly, I think that's true.
You've got a job. You have a paying job.
And I have had
going
through all of COVID. Now there are
exactly.
To be
That's
fair,
part of the fucked up part.
To be fair, there are costs that are associated with the pandemic that I have to account for that weren't normal. I have to order food out more often. Sometimes I have to get groceries delivered, especially at the beginning of the pandemic when everything was like a big question mark.
I feel like we spend way less money. We don't go out nearly as much.
So I feel
we're making
like
more money. It's crazy.
I do now.
Which is so fucked up because all the other people are hurting so much more.
Yeah.
And it's like, now I work from home and I don't pay any bills. It's so nice.
Well, I feel like what happened is, obviously I almost never pay for gas now. It's very weird.
Yeah.
But one of the things that does go up is electricity use from working from home.
Yeah.
Gas and
but still,
heat go up a little more.
I can tell you, it has not been offset for me. At the end of the day, my savings account goes up faster than it was before.
True. No. Trust me, I agree with you for the most part on this. One of the other things I had, though, is at the beginning of the pandemic, I feel like the only thing I could do, because, like, when we're, like, it was all lockdown, there's literally nothing you could go out and do except hike or walk in public, right? One of the things that would give me joy is to buy things online. So I feel like for the first couple months of the pandemic, I was spending a lot more than I should have. And then it, like, slowed down. I was like, I spent a lot during those few months. I need to cut spending.
I did, too. I did buy stuff online more, but still, like, going out
But overall,
is
saved more money.
I don't think I overcame it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because you don't go out
like
and
the
spend a bunch of money and dining and stuff like that.
Yeah, so all those waiters done, like, and this, by the way, brings me back to the point: the people don't have jobs.
Yeah, that's who these checks should be focused on.
Another part of this is like, if the pandemic starts.
Well, hold on, wait.
I think
before we go to that, what is the argument in places like Canada and other first world parties for why they are sending checks to everybody?
I don't know, discrimination? I have no idea. I actually think it's crazy. I think they should up the unemployment by a lot more and not send anyone a check. Part of it, I guess, here's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So say I have $5 million cash on me, okay?
Yeah.
And then I quit my job, I get fired, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm unemployed. Right? They're going to send me a $2,000 check.
Yeah, but you don't need it.
Yeah, the federal government, this is one thing people never understand about when they complain about the wealth. They don't know how much you have. They don't know what's in your bank account.
Yeah.
They know what you get. They know your income, and they tax your income. Wealth is fluctuating anyways. Your $5 million could be in Tesla stock or Bitcoin.
I see what you're saying.
It could be worth $50,000 in like 2 weeks. Who knows?
That is a good argument for employed people receiving it as well.
Yeah, so that I think is part of it. And there is like, Chloe knows, like, has seen these scams of super rich Asian people coming here and getting on unemployment.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. And I think you've heard the stories before of, like, people driving up in, like, nice cars and collecting their unemployment checks, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because technically they're on unemployment.
Because you can still be unemployed and rich.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, it's probably easier to be unemployed and rich.
Yeah, that's part of the problem is there's no
good way to say poor people that are unemployed.
And it's part of the freedom is, like, your wealth, that what you have is what you have. Mm-hmm. It's yours. Like, once you've earned it and it's in your pocket, it's yours. Like, if you pass it on to you die and there's a transfer. You die and you transfer it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. At that point, the government steps in because you're transferring. But once it's in your pocket, it's your business.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get around that and not leave that freedom in place. What was I going back to?
I mean, that's kind of an argument for 2,000 to everybody. I can actually see that.
Yeah. But, see, that's just part of the broken system is that, like, so many people that don't need the $2,000 are going to get it.
True.
Either way, no matter which way you cut it.
Yeah, no matter how you do it, it'll happen.
Technically, theoretically, I think Steve Jobs would have gotten the $2,000 or the unemployment benefits, or like if they did it based on income, right? Because he famously drew a $1 salary. Right? And all he did, he had stock options which he did not exercise. And so the stock options just became worth more and more and more money. Like, he just owns the stock, right? He's not making money technically.
Technically, he's
earning a $1 salary.
On paper, he has the worst salary of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, crazy stuff like that. But what I was going back to is a lot of this comes back to they have no jobs. Because, like, partially it's just because they lost their job, they can't go out in the pandemic. Like, people are just in a shitty place and they're angry. And, like, sometimes when you're angry and pissed off, you just find something to, like, let it out on. And
Oh, yeah,
it happens
absolutely.
to be the Democrats. And for Antifa, it happens to be the city and Foot Locker and Target, I guess? I don't know.
I feel like Antifa is just a big question mark, and
Yeah.
I feel like
I can
don't
at
know.
least understand a lot of the Trumpers. Sometimes I try to follow the Antifa, and I'm like, I don't even know what they're trying for sometimes. Like they toppled a statue of somebody that wasn't racist at all. Or, like, it's just, now you're just taking down statues. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's where, like, people were like, why did BLM do that? I don't think BLM necessarily took down statues of random-ass people. I think a lot of that was people just breaking shit.
Antifa or somebody's just like, hey, let's take down
Yeah.
this statue. Is that a political statement? They're just breaking shit. I don't know.
That's the problem. There could be old Joe Larry
Or-
in the crowd that's like, oh, hey, I'm in this protest.
Oh, Joe Larry.
I don't really care about BLM, but I'm going to break shit. I want to break stuff.
Yeah, and I actually, sometimes I don't know. I can believe sometimes that Republicans go, hey, let's go fuck up one of the good statues and blame it on them. Or that Democrats go and do other dumb shit and be like, hey, let's blame it on the Republicans.
Oh, absolutely.
No way I can know.
What are those called?
False flags. False flags.
No, not false flags. The person that does it. The person that you put in.
Oh, inciters? They're inciting?
Yeah,
Or,
there's a term for the insider people that are like they purposely put in protest.
Agent provocateur.
Yes, agent provocateurs. Those definitely were put in
what I
BLM
love-
protests.
And this is part of the fake news and, like, the partisan bullshit, is everyone just buys it. Nobody... This is where I feel like I'm different than, it seems, everyone. Because 90% is, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Like...
Yeah.
Like, they're all like, they took down that good statue, and it's like, oh, it's an agent provocateur. No, Black Lives Matters is crazy, and they're just going off the rails. It's like, I don't know.
It doesn't even
I
have to
wasn't
be an
there.
agent provocateur.
I have no
It
idea.
literally could just be somebody that wanted to fuck some shit up
Yeah.
while other people were destroying things that had
I
symbolism
know.
to it.
But the great part is all the Republicans are like, no, it was Black Lives Matters. They've gone insane. And all the Democrats are, no, it's agent provocateurs.
There's
It's
already
like, dude.
There's already a lot of people that are saying the people that stormed the Capitol were just Antifa, not Trump supporters.
Yeah.
That's
It's just
that's
so
already a
crazy
conspiracy
nowadays.
theory.
So many answers to all the, like, when there's one side saying one thing and another side saying another. I think 90% of the time, the answer is no one knows. We don't fucking know because there's no proof either way. That's why they can both claim the other thing.
Oh, I think it's pretty clear that these were Trump supporters, though, right?
I would say, yeah, 90% of those guys were Trump supporters. You can look at the pictures and be like, yeah, that guy's a Trump supporter.
The problem Black Lives Matter had was it kept
I could
going.
buy there was one or two agent provocateurs in the thing egging them on. I don't know that. But I could definitely tell
there
a
could
lot
definitely
of the people
be
in the
that.
building were, like, Trump supporters.
Yeah.
But there could be people pushing them to go that weren't really Trump supporters.
Absolutely, that
That
definitely
I
could
don't
happen.
know.
But that I feel like was the problem with Black Lives Matters because it was protest for months, right?
Yeah.
And so agent provocateurs definitely had to be in some BLM movements at some point, right?
Definitely, I don't know. I don't know if it's a real thing or not.
It's been
I have
proven
no
that
idea.
they've used agent provocateurs.
Where was it proven? I saw some, like, there's maybe a Russian guy going around breaking shit. That I could
No,
buy,
I'm not
but I
saying
don't
in
know.
BLM it's been proven. I'm saying it's been proven that they've used agent provocateurs before.
Where?
Man, it's been so long since I've looked this up.
Is it definitive proof? 90% of the time they say proof, they really mean here's another insinuating
Hold on,
thing,
are you
but
ready?
you'd have to
In the
interpret it,
United
yeah.
States, the
Uh-huh.
Cointler Pro
I
from
don't know what that
19
is.
this is in Wikipedia. Program of the FBI included
I
FBI
know
agents
that
posing as political
historically there
activists to
have
disrupt activities of political groups in the U.S., such as the Ku Klux Klan, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and the American Indian Movement. So it's been proven that they've done this before.
Oh, yeah. No, I know historically they've been there.
That's what I mean. They've historically have done it, so I don't see why they
But
wouldn't.
right now, is there any proof that someone in the Black Lives Matters was an agent provocateur that, like, set off riots or did crazy shit during the riots?
No, of course there's no proof right now. But
they could be just getting away with it.
I don't know if that'll ever come out.
That's the point. Yeah, well, it might come out 50 years from now, just like those things did.
But here's
like, I can't tell. They're actually pretty good at their job, these people.
Yes, that's my point is, if we ever find out, I think rationally you could see if they were able to do it 50 years ago, why wouldn't they do it 70 years from now? They're just better at it, so we'll probably be less likely to even know.
Yeah.
So I absolutely think it's happened. And I will even say with probably Trump rallies that had violence, absolutely, there's probably agent provocateurs that happened.
Yeah, you know, one I'm somewhat convinced on, but again, I never know. This is where I look at it and go, man, I think that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Do you know who Lynn Wood is?
Who what?
Lynn Wood.
Lynn?
Yeah.
Lynn Wood, no.
Yeah, Lin Wood. So he's an attorney in Georgia. You know Sidney Powell, right?
No, not that name is very familiar.
Okay, you know Giuliani. Let's start there.
Yes, I know Giuliani.
So Powell was another one doing the legal challenges for Trump, right? Mm-hmm. She was the one that seemed crazy between Giuliani and
Okay, I know who you're talking about now.
She seemed pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Because she's like, it's communist out of Cuba.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
that kind
about.
of thing.
Yeah, she was off the rails talking about stuff.
Giuliani, like, when you actually listen to him, he's pretty even keel. Like, he's talking about the Equal Opportunity Act, like legal things.
Yes.
Nothing fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. But there's another attorney from Georgia. So Powell, I don't know where she's from, but she was doing legal challenges all over. There's another attorney in Georgia that was supporting Powell, a black dude. Mm-hmm. And he is so fucking crazy. And he's like, he was at their speeches, I think partially just because he's a famous attorney somewhat, and he's a black guy, so it's also part of the, well, let's get a black guy so we can show it's not just all white people trying to do a coup, you know?
Yeah.
But he is so far fucking out there that it's, and like some people have shown that he had donated money to Democrats in the past, that it seems like he's pretending to be Republican to say the craziest fucking shit to discredit the Republicans. It's just so, like, hold on. I want to go to the dude's Twitter.
Oh, no.
Because one of them was crazy. Like, it's like, but the craziest bit is it, if he is, it's working because a lot of Republicans, I think, believe it. Hold on. It's like the crazy pedophile stuff.
Oh, no.
Where was all this crazy shit? Let's see how many followers he has first. He has 1.1 million. And he was talking about... he tweets way too much. The ones I had were like... how he thinks that all of them are taken into a room and rape children at gunpoint, and they have like videotapes of it, and like they have it for Pelosi, like crazy shit like that. And maybe it's true, I don't know, but if you wanted to be a Democrat discrediting the Republicans, pretending to be a Republican, you'd come out and say stuff like this. Like, he was just off the rails, and he's like, he knows. Yeah, here's January 3rd. This tweet was an insurance policy. The evil forces behind this blackmail scheme of child rape and murder need to know that others have encryption keys. I have procedure in place. If I die in near torment or any member of my family is harmed or threatened, key will be released by many. So he has proof, but he's not releasing it.
Yeah, of course. He's like Alex Jones that has the documents. I've got the documents.
That's where it's like, dude,
I've got the documents, Joe.
But what makes me think Agent Provocateur is he is a successful lawyer. Like, he actually has real cases, and he has tried cases before the Supreme Court.
Man, oh man.
So it's like, I don't know about that guy. That guy seems like he's full of shit, and he's not really a Republican. Or maybe he's just doing it for the lulz, maybe for publicity. I don't know. Something.
Why not? Why not for the lulz?
Crazy.
I really didn't think our next podcast was going to end up being so intense, though. Like, a whole intense story happened.
Oh, no. I thought we were going to do poop. I thought, I thought once it was definitely over, Trump was going to finally step aside. Like, he may have been, like, he was going to say, we're going to go back and fight harder than ever in 2024 or something like that. That would be his tough speech.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, I think he would give the speech he gave now, and if they didn't storm the Capitol, that's what he would have done. He would have come and said, like, we're going to go fight in 2024. I don't know if he has that option now.
Yeah, I think he really, because of this, his chance to run again is almost essentially eliminated.
But that, again, is why I think they're storming, is like, it could get worse because they think there's no chance. Like, just burn it down.
Yeah.
The country's been stolen from them. It's theirs, so...
Yeah, I can see it.
I don't know. What's your prediction?
Hold on, wait.
Actually happens.
Read this real quick.
Okay.
The impeachment clause authorizes Congress to order disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States, and there should be a high bar to concluding that an official has engaged in insurrection, but it seems worth discussion. This is from a Supreme Court advocate. He was just tweeting out. I just wanted to read that. Anyway, sorry. Well, what was your question?
Okay. What's your actual prediction?
For
Can you even predict at this point?
I feel like we're in such an unpredictable time right now.
Well, I think, let's just, very short-term prediction.
Well, my one short-term was this weekend there will be riots in multiple cities.
This could be even happening tonight. Will Biden have all electoral votes after debate certified for him tomorrow or soon?
I think tomorrow.
I think so too.
I mean, it's technically already tomorrow, right? It's already 1/7.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Where I'm at, I should say.
I thought it was going to be done this. I thought it was going to be done this morning, right? Yeah. Or today, whatever.
This afternoon.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be done.
I forget you're 3 hours behind, so this afternoon was probably almost by the 1 o'clock.
Yeah. So, is there any other surprise?
Ooh, a surprise.
Like,
I feel like if
I do think
the 25th Amendment is invoked on Trump, it's quote unquote a surprise, but that's a pretty big thing to happen.
Shit, you know what? They don't have a betting market on Pence becoming president. Because I think technically he would become president then.
Yes. He would be acting president.
That'll be great though, right? So
I'm surprised Predict It doesn't have that right now.
Yeah, I don't think
that's trending on Twitter right now.
I think Pence for president for 10 days.
More the 25th Amendment to remove Trump is trending.
I don't think anyone saw the storming the Capitol coming and them actually taking the 25th Amendment seriously.
Yeah.
So they Predict It never even put those odds up.
They're like, that's
where I say never try to predict this stuff because it's.
But Predict It can now add that, right?
Probably too short term for like a 10-day thing. Right? Like they usually.
Yeah, because that's like a 1 or 2 day
it'll
market
be over
kind of thing.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Trump is like what, the 45th president?
I'm sorry, 45th.
Yeah, 45.
Yeah.
46. 45.
So they actually talked about. He's 45. They actually talked
45.
about this. Pence wouldn't actually be the 46th president because he would just be an
Oh,
acting president. He doesn't get a number unless you're inaugurated.
Oh, that's what I was wondering, is will he get that?
Yeah.
Okay, because it has happened before, because I think like Reagan went under the knife for like surgery, and who was his VP again? Whoever it was, he became.
Yeah.
Oh, it was HW. So he was anyways the next president anyway. So I guess it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the thing is, especially since it's so short term.
See, it happens so rarely.
Like if he was removed like 2 years ago.
You couldn't tell from HW and Reagan because he actually was the next president, so he would have just been called it anyways.
Yeah. True.
But if they are incapacitated, I guess they're only acting and they're not the actual official president.
Exactly.
No,
but it's also because
I feel like it's not the same though. No.
It's whether or not he's
Hold on.
inaugurated. Is the big thing.
That's not true though. No, because Gerald Ford wasn't inaugurated, was he? I don't know if he was.
I would think so. Just Lyndon Johnson was on an airplane, remember?
Oh, maybe you're right. Gerald Ford inaugurated. Yeah, he was. Because, so I was saying, like, Pence and Pelosi would take it under the same law, right? Under the same amendment that, like, it's the line of succession, right?
Yeah.
It's the same way Ford became president. Once the president's gone, vice president becomes president. They would become president the same exact way, but they just wouldn't, after 10 days, they wouldn't even go swear in. It's just you're acting for 10 days.
Exactly.
You don't need to, okay.
I think it's just because of the time period, there's no reason to inaugurate him. If this happened like a year ago,
then yeah,
they would inaugurate him and he would be 46th president.
Huh.
But yeah, I remember he's 45th president because it was like a big deal, you know, because people like those 40, 45, 50 numbers.
Yeah.
And so it was a big deal that he became the 45th. And people are like, we wasted the 45th presidency on Trump.
Oh,
But,
because it ends in 5? Is that the big deal?
Yeah, you know, people like those kind of round numbers like that, 40, 45, and 50.
I'm not sure that matters.
It doesn't really. And honestly, on QI, they talked about this, how technically he's not really the 45th presidency because we do our numbering all jacked up.
What?
Because, like, we do, so let's say Trump left office and everything, and then Biden became president, he'd be 46th, right?
Uh-huh.
And then if Trump became president again, he would be 47th president. But that doesn't make any sense because he's already been president. He should just be the 45th president.
No, he's the 47th president.
But that's not how numbering, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense when you think of it numbering-wise.
No, it makes sense. Who was the 46th person to be in charge? Who was the 47th person to be in charge? Who was the 48th person? So it's all about Grover Cleveland, because he's the only guy that had 2 non-successive terms, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying
that screwed it up.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're saying you're numbering.
Yeah, you're numbering the time they spent. Like, who was officially the president for 4 years or 8 years? Who was officially president, nonstop, uninterrupted, for a very long time? Who was inaugurated?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think the numbering makes sense. It's just the number of presidents does not equal the presidential number.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
I guess maybe it's the way British look at numbering things.
It all starts on the first floor, or a 0th floor, right? That's the...
What?
Like, if you go into their... like a building, it's the 0th floor.
Oh, is it really? Maybe that's another thing that they do.
I think that's where I was.
I didn't know that.
They do that. It's the 0th floor, the first floor.
They start at 0. That'd be different too. Have they have a 0 with prime minister?
I don't know. I wonder how many freaking prime ministers they've had. It's got to be a shitload.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it feels like we're like barely starting. But most of them didn't really have power. We've had more presidents that have power than they've probably had prime ministers that had real power.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying it does.
When we were starting, George III had power.
It does look weird when you're like, who was the one that was split up? Grover?
Yeah, Grover Cleveland.
Because like it looks weird when you look at like the president numbers, and it's like you have some on there twice because of that.
I think it's just him.
Is it just him?
I think he's the only one. Yeah, pretty sure it's the only one. Him.
So you could argue that they're off by 1 if you do a...
Yeah.
Because it should be like in order. Like it would be Grover Cleveland 22nd and 24th. And
yeah, that's what he is. Something like that.
Yeah, he is. I have it up. So any other predictions for the upcoming days at this point? Because
I don't know if I want to predict. So I was going to predict some mass violence on the 20th. So I'm predicting that
definitely
Biden will be certified.
Yeah.
But the thing about the 20th is it's too far away. If Biden gets certified, they might go nuts over something else, or like what else will they do? I don't know if there's any rallying points post certification.
I think this increases my chances for a weekend violence and riots, because if he gets certified tomorrow or say Friday,
ooh yeah,
then the certification would probably cause more unrest.
But like, there's no, what's the shelling point? You know what that is?
The shelling point, no.
It's like, say you're with a group of friends, and there's like, you all have your favorite restaurants, but there's one that's close, and you always go to it because it's the one that everyone dislikes the least, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the like point where you don't need to even debate it. So like this is like one of those, because it's like everyone knows he's going to be counting the electoral college vote, right? So where would you go and protest and like try to break shit down, right? It's right here, right then. There's nothing from the point that it gets certified to until the inauguration. That's where everyone can agree to go and riot without even debating or talking or trying to get people together. It's the same thing with the George Floyd protest, right? Like, it was his funeral, I think, was a big one.
Yeah, but you could always
if
say...
the cops get off, it's a big one. It's like we all know, like, these are the points where they're all going to get together and go crazy. There's nothing like that here until the 20th. So I don't know what they do next until the 20th.
Yeah, where do you protest? So that's something we could figure out. Where would they protest before that? You think there's just a bunch of local protests?
But yeah, see, they're too broken up. They're in different states, so they can't get as massive as it was in D.C. To get as massive as it was where they could overtake the Capitol, it had to be in D.C. because it gathers, like, everybody. And that's where it's like so much they can't keep them out.
I don't know. Certain states could probably get pretty massive, like New York and stuff. New York City, maybe.
I don't know. But there's nothing there. Like, why New York City?
I'm just saying, just protests
you have to
in
have
the
a
street.
why. Why would they go there rather than another one? So, like, say I'm a pro-Trumper and I'm like, let's go rally in New York City. But there's another one going, let's go rally in Arizona. People are probably more likely to go to Arizona, I think, because that's where they thought a steal was. But then there's somebody in Georgia saying, let's go to Georgia.
Yeah.
Then that's where people are
I think
gonna
we
end up
might
because-
have multiple. That's what I'm saying. I think there might be multiple ones where people are scheduling ones at different places, and it's people close to Georgia are going to protest in Georgia. People close to Arizona are going to protest in Arizona.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it won't get as bad because it's not a mass gathering of like all of them.
I
That's
think
why
you can still
today
get
was
pretty
crazy.
massive scale.
I don't think it's going to be capital level bad. Like it's got to be like a
I think you're wrong on
get them
that.
all together.
I think
I don't know if they're going to storm the Capitol.
but you're forgetting that the
So where do you
massive
think it'll
level
be,
bad can be one
What's
person
the
with a
massive?
gun.
I get there will be protests, but I'm saying something as big as storming the Capitol. Like murders, like
That's what
multiple murders.
That's what I'm saying. But you can have that without having a massive protests, right?
I don't think it'll happen. I don't think it'll
One
be
guy
like,
with a gun
here's
and
my
any
prediction.
protest can
Until
cause that.
then, this is a far out. I think this is a brave prediction because I'm not that behind it. But from today until the inauguration, there won't be a like 5+ murder, like riot or
5+?
protest.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know about 5+. That's a lot.
Well, Zach,
Ooh.
just 2 years ago, there were so many mass shootings that like 5+ isn't even a big deal.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was about to say. Ooh, maybe there is just incidences of single mass
Yeah, there might
shootings.
be single murders.
I could see that.
So that's why I think inauguration would be, but that's so far away. 14 days. I know it sounds crazy, but
And you also
14
have to do
days
it in
like
DC where you
this,
can't
it
have a
seems
gun.
Like forever.
Maybe bombings.
You know what would create a shelling point? Like if Trump came out and said something about let's meet in DC again. Well, let's go protest in front of Biden's house. Like, think about it. If he's... I don't know where Biden lives.
That would definitely be inciting.
Yeah. Now, that would be like... But I'm saying he could create these points. That's one thing that could create them. If
That's
he,
part
like,
of the problem with our predictions is we don't have any Trump feedback right now. He's been basically silent since 4 p.m. when he tweeted his one tweet to say be peaceful. He's been silent since then.
See, that's in a prediction you could make, that there will be another big mass event. If Trump tries to start another protest in D.C., I think then you could get a mass event with, like, crazy shit happening.
Okay, what if you think he comes out and says you guys did a good job in D.C.? Because he can't denounce all of it, right?
But there's no leader. Like, he's not going out and saying, let's all go and, like, burn the Capitol to the ground or anything.
No, I'm saying...
I don't think there's anybody in the whole mass Trump supporters that has enough support other than Trump that will come out and say, let's go burn the Capitol, and people will go do it. So there's no way for them to get, like, a...
Okay, I got it.
Point, yeah.
One of these upcoming days, let's say within a week,
Okay.
they do try to invoke either an impeachment or the 25th Amendment, and that does cause him to create some kind of protest in D.C.
You're right. That could definitely be a point. I think you're right. If they try... That's why I think they might not actually do it.
To try to
They
avoid
might...
that.
They might just wait out the 14 days, because it's 14 fucking days, who cares? Just so that he doesn't feel backed into a corner and threatened, and he tries to create one of these points where the supporters might do another crazy thing. Because they might get even crazier the second time, and I don't think they would risk it.
Yeah, I think the second time might be worse, because then they might come prepared to create violence and destruction. Where this could have been more spontaneous.
I think they're going to certify, they'll wait out the 14 days, and then I don't think it'll be as bad as the Capitol, but there will probably be a lot of fighting in the inauguration. They might even, like, go fight with people that are attending, because people attend to, like like people that support the incoming president are usually the attendees of the inauguration.
Yeah.
I think there will be a counter protest to the inauguration, and there will be fighting between the people at the inauguration and the counter protesters to the inauguration.
Okay, I got a prediction for you that's gonna spin your head.
Okay. Moon bears.
Because they've dealt with
Bears
police
on the
now
moon.
with their protests, and they've actually been stomping on Blue Lives Matter flags. We will have we'll have BLM protests against police, but by Trump supporters.
BLM protest against police by Trump supporters.
Yeah. As in, Trump supporters will protest the police.
Like they were saying, hang Pence.
Yeah. They'll basically say we no longer support the blue, and they will actually have protests against police.
I don't know, baby, but Trump is still pro law enforcement. That was part of his message.
Yeah, he said, we are the people of law and order.
So that's where it's like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, I think the problem is too many of them actually are law enforcement or were law enforcement.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
That would be insane, though, right?
That would be pretty crazy. I don't know what's going on then.
I've seen the Trump supporters like literally stomping on their own.
Yeah, but
Blue Lives
this is
Matter
where it's
flag.
like they're gonna highlight that because it's interesting. But like, what percentage?
Yeah, it's
Probably
pretty
like
small.
huge minority.
incident.
I don't think most are doing that.
It's places where Trump supporters were rallying and police were pushing them back like they did BLM protesters. And so as a response, they did that.
Oh shit! I was still on Lynn Woods. Remember I was talking about him?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at it, and then I saw like some photo. He's saying this is where I think he's an Asian provocateur because he's too fucking crazy. That the whole thing was staged. The invasion of the Capitol. There's a guy taking a picture of one of the people in the Senator's chair and to say, this looks staged to you, fist in there, classic Trump supporter signal, right? Mm-hmm. I think he's saying that's a Black Panther signal.
Wait, what? Why is that a
I
Black
gotta
Panther
post this.
symbol?
What do you... That's...
The fist in the air? Yeah, I know, but it's a white guy in a senator chair.
I know it doesn't make sense. This is why this guy is fucking nuts. This is Linwood. This guy has 1 million followers. He is a real attorney.
The fuck? I mean, that's just something you do when you conquer anything, is put a fist up, right? When you
I
do something
know.
cool.
But what he's saying is it's all staged, and they're actually, I think, Antifa, and he has in this not MAGA.
Okay, so ultimate conspiracy theory would be that the Democrats purposely had Trump supporters in there and caused this so they could get Trump out of office and charges against him.
Yeah, which probably won't even happen anyways, so I don't think that's right.
I'm just saying that's.
I think it was just so
theory.
maybe he wouldn't run in 2024 would be the more still
true.
have support among.
So his
congressmen or
2024
anybody.
thing is over.
I think so, but I don't see how he comes back in 2024 now because I think he's lost. There were some Republicans that despised him, and then some that were like, all right, we'll tolerate you. I think he's lost a lot of the all right, we'll tolerate you. Not all of them. There are still some on the very far that are like, we love you. But he lost a lot of the middle Republicans.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to be an interesting couple of days.
Yeah. 2021 is not going to be any less crazy than 2020. No. That's
today has proven that. Somebody, one of the people I follow on Twitter put today is December 37th, 2020. I was like, that's pretty accurate.
It might be that like, you know how they break up like if you read historians. They say the 20th century started after World War I, right? Like, that's really...
Oh, this is like the start of a new era?
Yeah, this is the new century. Like, 2020 was when it all went bonkers.
Oh,
And, like, things
absolutely.
could
This
just
has to be
completely
the start of a
change.
new century. I can totally see that. Like a new era.
Yeah. So.
But so you'd say World War One was the start, and then the end would be 2020, not like 9/11.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I guess nothing
I don't
compares
think
to
so.
2020 really in recent times.
Yeah, I mean, like World War One, we were like super globalist, and U.S. wasn't 100% like in charge. After that, they pretty much were. World War Two basically cemented it. It was just World War One continued, World War Two.
Yeah.
So once World War One started, it was like we're in a whole new world. Like kings are being deposed, the colonies are all over, all that shit. Like it's just a different world. The literal map of the world, is super different after World War One, right?
Yeah.
I mean, after 10 years, starting in 2020 and going another 10 years, I don't know. Maps might look different. Maybe.
I think our politics are going to look really different. That's for sure.
They're going to look weird because I don't know. The Republicans have to do something to even get in the running.
Yeah. Their party is severely severed right now. Like, Georgia was definitely evidence of that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's...
I don't, like,
that-
without Georgia...
That was
how
before
they
this
were going.
happened. Georgia won. That was because of... I think that was a lot of Mitch McConnell's blocking of the vote for the $2,000.
Oh, yeah.
And so 2020, you have basically the COVID, Black Lives Matter, the Trump election. Now you have this. Like, it's definitely a whole era within 1 year, basically.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Somebody, Nicole always says this, it's a curse to tell somebody, I hope you live in interesting times.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit.
Because
I gotta say, it's actually entertaining, somewhat. I'm pretty bored otherwise. Now it's like, when shit isn't happening like this, I'm like, kind of wish some crazy shit would happen just so I can, like, take out the popcorn and be like, what are they gonna do
I feel
now?
like there's always crazy stuff happening, just not to this level.
Yeah, but they're,
Right?
like, when all the shootings were happening,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying I'm cheering on shootings, but between them it got a little boring. It's like a shooting would happen and everybody would be talking about it, and it's such big news.
There were so many, though. You talk about that shooting for that day, and then the next one would happen in a couple of days. You'd be like, oh, here's the new shooting.
But
to
then
talk
the
about.
winter would come and there wouldn't be any, and it'd be like, you'd get around the lunch table and be, what's going on? Nothing. No one. There's no shootings. No one died.
Holy crap. 121 Republicans voted to reject Arizona's 11 electoral votes.
Yeah. Was that surprising?
That's, after this, I mean, it's kind
But
of
there's
insane.
like 250 of them in there, so that's only half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be a lot that decided not to after this, right?
You gotta think about, like, there's a lot that they're counting on Trump people to vote for them, right?
Yeah. So they got to stick to their guns no matter what.
Again, I do think there are those in there that still really, really want to support Trump, and then are those that I think are just like, well, I mean, he's got a lot of support, so I need those people to vote for me.
Any other wacky predictions for the upcoming days or months?
Months.
Oh, I got one. That could possibly happen.
Hmm.
After all this political stuff and Biden is in office with new COVID strains and everything, he will actually institute a national lockdown just to be like a opposite of Trump of how he handled COVID.
Nope. He ain't gonna do shit.
No, I can see him doing it.
Nope. I don't think
Like a 30-day national lockdown.
Nope. This is the thing. He doesn't even have that power. He literally will have to go to the governors and ask them to do it. That's the thing. People like put all this on Trump.
Can you not do a national lockdown? How have other countries?
Where's the authority in the Constitution for that?
I don't know. Where was it for governors to do it? Honestly,
They do have the authority.
I don't know if it's legal for governors to shut down a whole entire
Constitution.
state.
No. In the U.S. Constitution, do you know what the Interstate Commerce Clause is?
No.
Or the 10th Amendment?
No.
Okay. The 10th Amendment, I think it's the 10th, pretty much says if we don't say the U.S. government can do it, they can't do it, but the state governments can. Okay?
Okay.
So
basically, if it's not specified federally, it's to the state.
Yes, exactly. So that's why, like, so the Interstate Commerce Clause says the government has authority on any commerce between the states. So, Florida, if they do any commercial transaction that could in any way affect California or whatever, then the federal government can do it. So this is where you try to understand why technically marijuana is federally illegal, but it's legal in California.
Yeah.
What's happening is that California has the authority to make it illegal to smoke, to do anything you want with it, because they have the authority over actual consumption. Now, they don't have the authority on the buying and selling because technically somebody from any other state can come into California and buy it. So that's where the federal government derives almost all the power it has over the states is from the Interstate Commerce Clause. So it used to actually not be used as much until FDR stacked the courts with his supporters. So it used to be more like you literally exporting goods from one state to another. But then it was reinterpreted by the Supreme Court during the FDR era to basically mean if technically anybody could go to your state and buy something, then it's interstate commerce. Therefore, any commercial transaction can be regulated by the U.S. government.
Okay. But is there a way to invoke any of those powers to create a national lockdown of some sort?
So,
you can shut down
interstate commerce.
Transport, right? Commerce.
Yeah,
right?
they could do interstate commerce, but it is still a pretty big stretch because, they can governors can shut down within their own house, within their own state restaurants, right? Because they have the authority to do whatever they want in their own state. But it will almost certainly be a challenge judicially if they're saying somebody's going to drive out of state to go to another restaurant.
No.
Incredibly rare.
But
it'll be
restaurants can get their food delivered out of state.
Yeah. No. But that wouldn't be banned. What they want to ban is you going into a restaurant physically.
Yeah. But I'm saying with the power to shut down the commerce of delivering those foods
to restaurants?
Yeah.
But that's not what they want to do. They want to shut down you being able to go to the restaurant.
I'm just saying.
They want the restaurants to be able to make food.
to...
No, because they want the restaurants to be able to make food because
True.
people rely on food to be delivered to them.
True.
So they're never going to shut that down. And it's a pretty big legal stretch. Not impossible, but pretty big legally for him to try to shut down a bar in a different state than other people based on interstate commerce, because people will mostly go to the bars in their local. Yeah, they'll go to their own bars. So he could try. It would probably be thrown out judicially. This is where, like, Trump would do it if he was that way, because he just pushes whatever and just lets the courts decide. Most presidents have not been like that. They've mostly stayed within their bounds, and Biden is going to be like one of those. I don't think he's going to go outside like be a Trumper and just be like, I'll just
I don't think
declare laws and just see what the judiciary says.
That's why I didn't know if there's a way for him to do a national lockdown.
I mean, it's a stretch.
Like,
I don't think he will.
even with state of emergency
enacted
enacted or anything like that?
FEMA has some powers, some emergency powers. So there might be something there. But shutdown, like, the states have powers. Governors have authority over their own states. Like, I guarantee you, the governor of Texas, will become insurrectional if the United States president tells them what to do. because they believe it's their state.
Yeah,
and
no,
I think
no.
a lot of the
lone
red
state,
states will become insurrectional. Texas is probably the hardcorest that they will become insurrectional. So he won't do it. That's what I think. I don't think he would do it.
Damn.
I think he will just talk a little tougher, but there will be no action. That's where people pin so much on Trump.
He will highly suggest he wouldn't even do
state
it.
Like Biden won't do it anyways.
Huh?
Like you know what Biden's change will be? He'll wear a mask in public.
Yeah.
He'll talk hard about masks.
He already does that.
That's it. Other than that, all the policies will be the same. I guarantee you, there's not really going to be a change.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So if you were expecting it to be solved, sorry, ain't gonna change shit.
No, I knew he was. Here's the thing: I voted for Biden just because he wasn't Trump.
Yeah, I'd say like
I knew he was just going to be like every other politician.
Yeah.
I really am glad I did it now, though, and I feel like I am justified, and somehow,
I'm still glad I never vote for any party, any other one.
What's his name?
Because I feel like it lets who?
Shoot, the podcaster.
Dan Carlin?
Dan Carlin. I feel like Dan Carlin was actually pretty correct.
You're right. I got it. I will give you that one. I was wrong on that. I thought he would step aside a little. Well,
I tell you what, I can't wait for the next Dan Carlin podcast.
I don't think. Yeah, I do too. I forget what I was saying though before. Yeah, that just probably doesn't matter.
Well, I guess we'll find out in the coming days.
Yeah. I still don't think. I still don't think my prediction about him stepping aside. I guess it's kind of a cop out because I think he still would have if they had not stormed the Capitol. I think come the 20th he would have bowed out.
I think come
and
the
then
20th,
just said, I'm going to
yes.
run in 2024. I'm going to run in 2024 and fight really hard. But now I don't think he can say I'm going to fight really hard in 2024 because, like, he might be pushed out of office and he won't have nearly that much support from the actual establishment Republicans.
Okay, let's say he doesn't get booted or anything like you say because they don't want to start violence. Do you think maybe in a year or two when things calm down he might announce a run for 2024?
If he doesn't get prosecuted and all, and I don't think he will.
I could see him still announcing it.
No, because I feel like try to put yourself in the mind of the Trump supporter.
Or has this just created such an embarrassment for him?
Yeah, I think he's in such a hard place because the Trumpers that stormed the Capitol, they feel like Trump's been going to bat for them saying like, you got to stay strong, right?
Yeah.
And then they stormed the Capitol based on that. Mm-hmm. And now they're expecting him to do even more. Like, they showed them a bit of crazy, now you do a little more of our crazy. Now you go and you start rounding up senators, because a lot of them really believe in the swamp like they are all, Lynn Wood is saying, they're all rapists. Like, you're going to round them all up and execute them. Trump's not going to do that. He's not going to, I still think he's not going to start executing people in his last 2 days.
No.
So I think they're going to feel like once he does finally renounce power, and I think he will step out of the White House on the 20th. That's my guess. Do you think he will step out of the White House on the 20th? Or do you think he's like, he has nothing but loyalists in the White House that are going to like aim their guns at anyone trying to take him out?
I feel like he has to give up or it's going to become really weird.
Yeah. That's it. I think he's going to step out, and the Trump train is going to, they're not going to support him as much because they're expecting something. They're expecting some trick, some card he has, something, and I don't think he has it. I don't think he has anything.
Wait, Nick. I forgot about a prediction I had earlier that I thought of that could happen. I never thought about this, but you're talking about Trump being in such a hard place and all this falling apart. What if Trump commits suicide?
No.
You don't think so? You don't think it's possible?
No. Dude, that dude loves himself too much to ever commit suicide.
I was just saying,
That dude
it's on
looks
the
in
table.
the mirror and jerks
It's
off.
possible.
He's like, what's in the Silence of the Lamb? I'd fuck you. He looks in the mirror and says shit like that.
But here's what I'm
lipstick.
saying. What if the Republicans or Democrats start actually talking about charging him with things, and he might be facing legal recourse?
Is it just talk? I think this is why I don't think they will try to impeach him or get rid of him, invoke 25. Because it puts him in the situation where he might do that, and I don't think he will.
Hold on, wait, Nick.
He's going to write it out, and he's going to step out.
You think they won't do that because he would do that and his supporters would riot, but don't you think people on the left might riot if
No.
they don't?
It's 14 days. Can you not wait 14 days?
No. I'm talking about giving him charges once he's out of office for things he's done while in
Oh,
office.
no. Because like I said, they'll, of course, like Biden, they'll be disappointed in Biden. It'll be the exact same thing as Trump is to Hillary, Biden will be to Trump. Same thing. Exact same thing.
I don't know.
Like, Trump never arrested Hillary, and some people think it's going to happen in the next 14 days. It won't.
I feel like times are much different than the Trump-Hillary situation, though.
I don't think so. I mean, could be. This could all go off if just some more crazy shit like this happens again. But I just don't see it without Trump calling for it. So I think 20th, he steps out. He won't run in 2024 because of this mostly. And this is why I could see Agent Provocateur for this. Because I think it kills this 2024.
Yeah.
And he will just basically fade into obscurity. I think once he step out on the 20th,
Yeah.
and no fight given, like he's just not president anymore,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the Trumpers will abandon them because a lot of them really believe there's something he has. Like he's gonna stay in power another 4 years and he's gonna drain the swamp in the next 14 days. He has a lot of shooting to do in the 14 days and arresting.
Okay. The next thing I want to go over real quick before we go.
Okay.
What
This is a
exactly did
2-hour
Trump
podcast.
accomplish in his 4 years, do you think?
Oh, a lot of presidents, the best things that actually mattered came in the last few days. Or at least
His defense bill?
no, I don't know what his defense bill even was. There was a Price Transparency Act for hospitals, and it's not even that good because it doesn't apply to private practices. But I actually legitimately think that's probably a really good change, and I hope it doesn't go away.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That's actually is awesome.
Yeah, because it's something like he probably never would have achieved or tried if he was running for re-election. It's like when you're done politically, you start doing those things.
Yeah.
That one I hope stays. That's an amazing law. I wish it was broader than that and it applied to private practices.
So this is just for like hospitals and shit.
Yeah, and that is right now maybe the best thing, and I'll give them the Trumpers that happened in the last week or so.
But that's it, right? Like I can't really think of anything he's actually done. He did tax breaks, but it really affected the rich.
The economy has been good, but I don't know if that's a good thing 10 years from now.
Or if do you really think it was because of him too?
Only partly. Some of the tax repatriation, I think accounted for some of it, but I don't know if it's really like a scam though a bit because it was like.
That's what I'm saying. I can't really think of anything he did during his presidency. Like, what did he do?
Tax-free, any company can bring back their money. I think that was like, but we wanted to tax it so the government could get some of the money to pay for some of their bills, but he used it instead to pump up his economy.
Yeah.
So, what did he do?
Oh, he got us
tried a lot of
$1,800.
Yeah. This is where it comes back to Biden. Like, Biden won't be different. He just won't even try.
No, I think he might be
like,
just
you
as...
could say Trump tried to close borders. Trump tried to change immigration laws. Trump tried a million different things. Almost all of them were overturned in the judiciary.
So what you're saying
Right?
is he just tried such ridiculous stuff it couldn't even get past.
Yeah, which is like it's also status quo. It doesn't matter. Like that's the one thing you'll give the Trump supporters. At least he tried. Biden, I don't think he'll try. He'll just basically drift by like all the other presidents. Not much changing at all.
You're wrong there. I'm hoping though.
I'm trying to think anything else changed.
I think one big thing that's changed is people are so much more people are focused on politics, but like when's the last time you watched a senator race in another state? You know what I mean? Like local politics
that is something that
very
changed.
Important.
It became way more interesting. That's one thing you got to give the guy. He is not boring. I stopped paying attention a lot during the Obama years because it's just like nothing's happening. And I think that'll be the same for Biden. Once Trump is forgotten, I don't even think I'll pay attention that much anymore.
I honestly think it'll be a relief not to worry about politics for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I might get bored. Maybe
but I'm okay with being bored with politics for a while.
I tried to get bored with it, but then all this shit happens. Like, I tried to ignore it, I mean.
But then people siege the Capitol building.
Yeah, then, like, how... And then, like, the whole... Like, I was trying so hard to ignore it because there was so much. And then, like, the election I was definitely going to watch. But then after the election, it just got so crazy, I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
And trying to follow.
It was off the... That's what I always thought. I was like, oh, thank God the election's over. And shit just kept ramping up.
Yeah, for so much of Trump's presidency, for the most part, I was just like, I'm just gonna ignore it because it's just.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says funny stuff, and that's I'll pay attention. But other than that,
it was mostly people
care.
complaining about random ass tweets and shit he would put out.
Yeah, 90% of it's just like a Rorschach test, you know. Like some of it, I look at it and laugh, and sometimes I go, okay, it's probably distasteful, but
yeah,
you know, who cares? I don't care.
It's very true. I'm really curious to see his next statement. You know, like what does he say publicly next?
Like, you're right. I bet there are so many people looking at crafting. What is your next move? Like it's a chessboard, right?
Yeah.
What's your next crazy?
Like you have to say something, and you have to say it right. But what
That's where I think his 2024 is out, and his
like I'm waiting for the next tweet when he's unlocked.
He's gonna leave.
You know?
He's
like,
not gonna be president in another 4 years. So somebody's got to be trying to figure out how do we get you out of that White House while looking like a strong man like your Trump supporters want, but you leave the White House so you can run in 2024 now, and like it just
how do you do that?
That doesn't seem possible to me anymore.
Because
now they've gone to bat for him so much, like they really want him to like do something, and he can't do it. There's no way.
That I don't.
Without causing a civil war.
I think he's kind of politically done. Right?
Yeah, I don't see it, but who knows? And then the real crazy question is, 2024, then who the fuck runs? No one's going to have that support that Trump did in the Republican Party.
Yeah, like you said, I think the Democrats have next election in the bag for right now. Barring some craziness.
One-party states are never good.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's why everyone's fleeing California. Listen to Joe Rogan on that one. It's like, it's not good. When just one group is like determining it all, they always make the dumbest fucking decisions. I like a little opposition.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's why a lot of times we do go back and forth between presidents, right?
Yeah, but man, Democrats really have to... Okay, here's actually a crazy prediction.
Okay.
The Democrats might be in such a bad position once they take 2021 that, like, I mean, post-pandemic, economy in shambles. It might be so fucking bad. Like, the market might crash super hard.
I think that's almost inevitable.
But, okay, if the Democrats control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and the economy crashes, there are mass layoffs. There isn't enough money to keep distributing $2,000 checks anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There is mass poverty, mass riots. It's way worse than 2019, like, shootings were. In 2020, Black Lives Matter riots were. Like, there is mass fucking craziness. Lots of riotings, starvation deaths, whatever it is. Lots of crazy, and the country falling apart even more.
I can totally see that,
like,
unfortunately.
Then maybe the Republicans just come back because, like, fuck the Democrats, look what's going on.
Because they can't fix what has happened.
Yeah, and I don't know if they can, because we're in a really bad spot. And now they have all the
control to fix it if they can.
But just like I said, they never do anything. They never change fucking shit. It's all status quo. So it's all just going to descend, and they're just going to get blamed, and the Republicans will sweep back into power.
I mean, that could happen. It depends on how bad it gets, though, right?
Yeah, it has to get really bad, but the hard part about that prediction is, why hasn't it happened already? Why has the economy the stock market already crashed so fucking hard?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's really confusing.
I don't understand that yet. I think it has to happen in the next 4 years. Like Tesla going like $800 billion and Bitcoin going to 33,000. Like, that can't be sustainable, right? At some point, that shit's got to crash. And then that's going to make a lot of people lose a fuckload of money.
Something's got to happen. I don't understand how everyone can get so much richer.
Yeah. And, like, everybody stops working and people get richer. How does that work? I don't think it does. I think it's just
not
an illusion
sustainable
for right now.
Something's amiss here.
Yeah.
So the real question is, can they keep us afloat for 4 years?
I don't think so. I'm shocked Trump was able to keep us afloat for 4 years. I think part of it was cheating with a tax repatriation.
They might be able to come up with some kind of cheaty maneuver to help.
Let's sell Hawaii. We never liked them anyways.
Maybe they actually tax Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Could be something.
Something like that could happen. All right, well, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, we're going to finally end it after 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Later.